have a look at one example of how to handle a rolling forecast in Planacy. It's possible to work with rolling forecasts in many different ways in Planacy. However, in this example that we're going to look at now, we will make a suggestion from an administrational perspective, and then we will send that out to the different managers for different cost centers. And those managers can thereafter go in and adjust the suggestion that we have made from the admin perspective. So therefore, we first of all will look into the group admin and the rolling forecast admin process. And in here to the left, we see a list of the different cost centers. In this case, it's different stores. Here we see a from and to period. So those periods define the period of which we have sent a suggestion for. So in this case, the latest suggestion that we sent out was between October and December. Here we see an actual rolling 15. So in this case, we work with a rolling 15 forecast. And here we see the actual for that. Here we see a scale factor. So this we can use when we want to change the suggestion that we will send out. And as you can see here, this is the period that we have been working with, the latest period that we have been working with. So the forecast that we have been working with so far is between October 2020 until December 2021. So in this case, we work with a rolling 15 forecast, but we are updating it each quarter. So at the moment in this template, we have actuals up until September 2020. So let's say now that it's a new quarter, so we are now in January 2021. This means that we will update the actual data. So we have actual data visible in this column up until December 2020. And then we also want to open up 3 new months, which we can make a suggested forecast for. So therefore, we need to go into the administration and change the time periods that we are working with. So we need to go into the rolling forecast administration, and we will go into this tab here, and here we will change the base period. So the base period is the period of which we have actual data for. So we now have actual data up until 2012 in this case. And here we will then change, so we have a new quarter to work with. So we will change the start period to 2021-01. So we will make a forecast for January 2021 until 2022-03 in this case. And then we will click update. Thereafter, we will jump back to our rolling forecast. And now, as you can see, we have 3 new months here. So now we need to change so that this period, January to March, is marked with marked in orange instead. So that means that we need to change the from and to period. So here we will set 2022-01 up until 2022-03. So like that. And now we can use this scale factor in order to set which suggestion we want to send out. So let's say that we will add 90% for all, or maybe we want to have an 80% scale factor on store Haparanda, for example. This can be done in many different ways. You don't need to work with a scale factor like that. You can of course also make these cells editable, so you can type in a certain amount on each cell. Thereafter, we need to send this suggestion. So here we click up here and click send suggestion. So now our suggestion of this forecast here is being sent out to the P&Ls for the different stores, which the managers then can edit. So now we will jump back to the overview, and then we will have a look at the entity view, and here we will click on store Eskilstuna, for example. So now we are a manager for store Eskilstuna. We will have a look at the P&L. And in here, you see that we have a rolling 15 actuals, which now visualize actual up until December 2020. Here we see a total of our rolling 15 forecast. And here we can then drag this and see that we now have this suggestion that we sent from the administration perspective here, then I can of course go in and change. So let's say that I think we will have a 5K sales instead. I can just change that.